Okay, folks, we're going to go ahead and get started with this press conference. I'm going to just open it up for questions. We'll open it up with Bill Landis, questions for CJ Walker. Bill, go ahead. One question, folks.
CJ, can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm just wondering kind of how you come out of this. You guys had lost 4 straight. Final. I know the final doesn't go the way you want it, but it did seem like you guys got back to playing some confident basketball, and I'm wondering if that's a positive you can take out of this, even though you didn't end it the way you wanted it to.
Oh, yeah, I'm most definitely proud of my team. Yeah, most definitely I'm hurt because we lost. I wanted to win, a Big Ten title. That was a dream for us in the beginning of the season. That was a big goal for us. And like you said, we lost 4 games ending the regular season, and we came to the Big Ten tournament ready to play, prepared. I felt we played with a lot of confidence, played really aggressive. Playing the way that we know how to play. We beat a lot of really good teams. It was 4 hard days in a row going out there playing as hard as possible each and every day against really good teams. So I'm really proud of my team. I don't regret anything that happened today. We fought, we stayed together, we stayed connected. Those are all the things, I said before the Big Ten tournament started that that's what we needed to do. I feel like that's what we did throughout this tournament. We're just getting prepared for March Madness, try to bounce back, go win a national title.
All right, we'll move on to Adam Jardy with the Columbus Dispatch. Adam?
CJ, sorry, I missed the beginning there, but the feeling that you guys must have right now of the way that you were able to battle and force this one as late as you did, and now to see your name get called there on Selection Sunday, what are the emotions of this team right now at this moment, turning it into March?
Obviously, you feel the loss. Obviously, it's kind of a low point, but I feel like our team is extremely grateful for our situation right now, being able to bounce back the way we did coming into the Big Ten tournament after losing 4 in a row. Like I said, we played really hard, stayed connected, played some really good teams, and we stayed connected. I feel like that was the biggest thing for us. So like I said, that was a low point losing, but, we always be grateful for going to March Madness, being a 2 seed, and being able to have this opportunity to keep playing, throughout these tough times for everybody. So we're just grateful for the opportunity. We're really happy, try to recover best as possible throughout this week to get our bodies right after playing 4 tough games in a row. Like I said, just bounce back and go win a national title.
Up next, we'll go with Whitney Harding. Whitney?
Hey, CJ, you just talked about recovery. How important is that going to be moving forward? And what did you guys learn over the last 4 days about your team?
I think recovery is probably one of the most important things right now, especially for the guys that's played a lot of minutes each and every day against these great teams, Purdue, Minnesota. And then today, it was just a really good competitive thing. So guys are really short, really banged up and things like that. So I feel like recovery is going to be really big for us going into March because we're going to need everybody to contribute at a high level. So it's going to be really important. We're just going to do as best as possible to try to recover.
Next up, we'll go with Stephen Means from Cleveland.com. Stephen?
CJ, given how the end of the season went for you guys to kind of find some momentum and some rhythm over these last 4 days, how can you guys use that heading into another week where basically you're trying to win 6 games to win a national championship?
Like I said, it was just a lot of learning experiences for us at the end of the season. Again, losing 4 in a row is not easy to deal with. Trying to figure out what's wrong, what's right, what we need to do better, what's wrong, and things like that. So figuring it out, in March is probably the best time to figure it out. I'm really confident in our team. I feel like we're going to fight hard each and every game. We're going to go out there, obviously trying to win and just staying connected. So like I said, just a great learning experience for us, to show our capabilities as a team, to show that we can bounce back, show that we can win big time games. Like I said, I feel like the overall theme is just being connected. So I feel like as long as we do that, I feel like we'll go pretty far. And I feel like we learned a lesson from the end of the season to now.
Next up, Patrick Murphy with 24/7 Sports. Patrick?
CJ, you just mentioned learning experiences. What was it that you guys really learned about yourself these last few days that got you to this point and you can take to the NCAA tournament?
I was just saying being more physical on both sides of the floor and being able to adapt, trying to scout a team in one night and trying to prepare for a game within a couple of hours is really hard to do. So just being connected, being able to adapt, being able to be aggressive on both ends of the floor, I feel like that was our downfall. At the end of the regular season, I feel like we did really good in the Big Ten tournament, staying connected, making the right plays, having the one more pass, great defensively. I feel like we've been better than we have all season defensively, making it tough for teams. I feel like we learned from that and we just got better, like I said, in the Big Ten tournament.
Next up, we'll go with Sean Dunnigan from WBNS 10 TV. Sean?
CJ, I don't know if you've even had a chance to digest your region and where you're looking. Do you know anything about Oral Roberts who played in the first round, or any of the teams that you're look to play as you look to make a run in March?
I do not know anything about Oral Roberts. I don't know the conference or anything, but in March you have to respect each and every team, no matter what their record was, what they did previous in the season. So we're going to respect them like we play any other team in the Big Ten. And then I think it was Virginia Tech and Florida, which are two really good teams I played previously in my college career. Good coaching staff, good players, good overall team. So every team has respect going into March, and we're going to prepare for each and every game, going in there ready to win, ready to fight, and just try to advance.
Thanks, CJ.
Appreciate it.
And we'll go with one last question for CJ from Colin Hass-Hill from 11 Warriors. Colin?
CJ, I know you talked about sort of the physical nature of these past 4 games, but with what you had to bounce back from at the end of the regular season, how close all these have been, and how much you put into all these, how just emotionally draining have these past 4 games been for you guys as a team?
I don't feel like the emotionally drain hasn't kicked in until probably a couple hours tonight. After you feel everything, obviously after you play a game, knowing you have another game coming up, you kind of got to ignore the bumps and bruises. You just got to focus and lock in on the next game. Just worry about what you have to do, to put your team in the best situation to win. So you don't really feel the emotional drain until after it's all done, until you complete the goal. And obviously, it didn't turn out as we wanted to, but I think we did a lot of great things. So all the emotions, all the adrenaline and everything will probably kick in, later tonight once you realize what we really did, throughout this tournament. So, yeah.
CJ, congratulations on a tremendous run to the Big Ten
Appreciate
tournament,
it.
on making the NCAA tournament, and
Thank you.
rest, and thank you very much.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Should only be another minute or so, folks, for Coach Holtmann. I'm told he is on his way. All right, Coach, thank you very much. You want to make an opening statement first or just go straight to questions?
Yeah, first of all, I want to begin by congratulating Illinois. I thought it was a really, actually, I'll just put it down here. I thought it was a well-played, hard-fought game, and give them credit on winning the tournament championship. An outstanding season. Thought our guys battled and really fought. Obviously got a disappointed, emotional group, but I would expect nothing less given, what this group has been all year. So, we're going to find a way to bounce back here and get our guys emotionally in a good place, physically in a good place. But it was a heck of a college basketball game.
Great. Thank you, Coach. And just like to remind the members of the media, we'll go with one question so we can get everyone through. We'll open up questioning with Bruce Hooley from Press Pros. Bruce?
Chris, I don't know if this felt different to you guys, but I think the expectations of the fans were just, it's gravy getting to this championship game, and then you get behind early. I'm sure you're exceedingly proud of your team today, the way they kept coming back from 10 down on tired legs with Kyle out.
I am. Yeah, I am, Bruce. I am. I mean, it was an emotional locker room. I just, I told them that I think anybody who cares about the program, former players who, we try as hard as we can to make proud, they carry that with them. They carry the weight of making every, former Buckeye proud. Every Buckeye fan, everybody who loves this university, and I told them they did. Listen, we came close to a championship, and it's exceedingly disappointing. But what I'm not disappointed in is their resolve, their fight, and their effort.
Next up, we'll go with Brendan Gulick, Buckeyes Now on Sports Illustrated. Brendan?
Chris, you talk about that effort, starting the game with 1 of 16 from the floor, and yet the body language was not particularly negative. Guys weren't hanging their heads. Nobody was pointing fingers at each other, and I think it really helped in the tail stretch of the first half where you hit 10 of 12 shots. What did you notice when maybe you guys got in a huddle there after having that 1 for 16 start and the switch flipped and then the game became competitive?
I thought, to be honest with you, I thought we settled a little bit too much offensively. And then, we had to change our ball screen coverage because we were getting picked apart, and we thought it was the correct way. We just had to make some adjustments there. And then honestly, I thought that we had to get into the rhythm of the game. And I thought some of our finesse offense was led to some of our finesse defense. And I think once we dug our heels in a little bit, but give Illinois credit, they made shots, they made plays, they're difficult to guard, and they got us on the glass. They're a really good team. But it wasn't like we were playing against anybody out there. We're playing against a really good team, but we also needed more bite on both ends.
Next up, we'll go to Bill Landis with The Athletic. Bill?
Chris, I suppose this guarantees you nothing moving forward, but it does seem like you guys came to Indianapolis and found a way to play some of your best basketball and played in some really kind of high leverage games that I'm sure will suit you well moving forward. Just how do you feel about that? I know the loss is disappointing, but it did seem like you had to get something back in terms of playing with a little more confidence, and that appeared to happen.
Yeah, I think so, Bill. I do agree with that. I think that we needed that. The Minnesota win was important. I'm not going to, say that it wasn't important to get feeling better about us. And then I think we carried some of that momentum, and guys obviously, tasted the opportunity to win a championship. And I think it was important for us to play well. And I said, I did not think we were playing poorly. in that closing stretch, with the exception of large stretches of the Iowa game where I did not think we played well. I thought some of the other games we were, but we needed to raise our level. I think we did that. To your point, Bill, there are no guarantees, and we've got to find the way to, continue to do that, because as everybody on this call knows, every game is a challenge in the tournament, and there are no easy ones. So I think it was important for us to play well. I thought we had some of these halves were some of the best halves of our season. They just were, I think we can build on that.
Next up, we'll go Steve Hellwagon with 24/7 Sports. Steve?
Yeah, Coach. Go back to the beginning of the season. You're picked middle of the pack Big Ten, and you come out of this with a number 2 seed in the NCAA, the highest seed Ohio State's had in 8 years. Just a thought, I guess, about, you haven't arrived or anything like that, but it is a much better position than you found this thing in 4 years ago. And I don't know, just your thought about what was put into this season and the opportunity you have lying ahead the next several weeks.
Well, you mentioned it, opportunity, and it begins on, our first game. But Steve, I think I have given that some thought. But I think, the opportunity to play for a championship, Steve, was really, really important for us. We thought we might have had a chance in the regular season in the last 3 or 4 weeks, but we just couldn't quite get there. The opportunity to play for a championship was very important for us as a group, because I think when you have an opportunity to be in games like this, it only makes you hungrier. It only makes you hungrier. And there's no question about it. It elevates everybody in the locker room. And, listen, I'll wait to make too many postscripts on our season. I'm well aware of where we were picked early, and I feel, I feel really good about this group, but we are climbing, and we are still climbing, and we're trying to stay in the moment as much as possible. But there's no question, as I reflect back on this moment, Steve, playing for a championship was really important for this group.
Thanks.
We'll go to Adam Jardy with the Columbus Dispatch. Adam?
Chris, as you talk about this, you keep climbing, you keep building. The fact that you guys, with tired legs, and were able to dig in a game that very easily could have gotten out of hand and stayed out of hand. I know you've talked this season about just a strong belief in this team's ability to overcome adversity, but what did you see specifically in that avenue today, as far as forcing this game on tired legs into overtime the way you did, and to do it without Kyle? Do you have any thoughts on him going forward?
I don't know yet on him, Adam, to be honest with you. I don't know. And I'm not sure when we'll know specifically on him. He was with us. He was in the locker room today, Adam. But yeah, I mean, words like resiliency and toughness and grit, they get used too much. But this group has it. They have it. They have that. They do. And if you followed us, like all of you have, you know that. And, we don't play perfect or coach perfect, but we have that. We do have that.
Next up, we'll go to Stephen Means with Cleveland.com. Stephen?
As you said that for a couple of games now, how much of that learning about your team, and how much did you learn that they had this it factor in them over the last 4 days in comparison to maybe what you learned during that 10-1 stretch that they had in January, February?
Yeah, I think you're always learning, Stephen. I think I learned more this week because of how difficult the closing stretch of the season was. You saw us on senior day, guys. They couldn't. They just were devastated. And I think I learned, there's no question, I think we all learned more about our guys and our ability to respond and stay in the moment and win the moment right in front of us. And that takes tremendous character. Obviously, it takes really good players, but it takes tremendous character, and it takes the ability to grow in that area, doing hard things as the season goes on, and embrace that. And I think that it was a really, I think, seminal moment for us to see how we responded to that tough stretch.
We're going to finish up with the last couple of questions here. We'll go with Clay Hall, WSYX Channel 6. Clay?
Yeah, Chris, I'm sorry, I just came up from the set, so I've missed most of this. But considering the mileage on your team, will 4 days be enough rest to get this thing cranked up and ready to go?
Do we know when we're playing yet?
I read Friday. Is that true or not?
You know what time at all? Okay. It's a good question, Clay. Certainly not going to use it as an excuse, but we've got to get our medical staff and our team in a good place physically. And, we got to get ourselves right. I think emotionally we'll bounce back. But we got to get ourselves rested and right. I do think that, Clay, to your point, I didn't know when we played until you just said that, and Dan just told me. So, yeah, it's priority number one for us.
But considering what you just went through and how much your team maybe has proven to you, how anxious are you to see what can happen in the next couple of weeks?
I mean, I love this group. I absolutely love this group. I love them. Our coaching staff loves them. So I can't wait to get back to work with them. But I'm excited about the next opportunity we get a chance to do this again. I really am.
Thank you.
Next up, we'll go with Patrick Murphy, 24/7 Sports. Patrick?
Chris, can you take us in the locker room? Obviously, disappointment with losing the game, but as you mentioned, there is quite the opportunity ahead of you here in the tournament. What were the guys like? What were you like? What was the emotions and whatnot in the locker room?
We had a lot of emotional guys, and we had a lot of emotional coaches. And honestly, I wouldn't, Patrick, expect anything else of this group. I just wouldn't have. I think they had real high level belief in what we could be, and they didn't come for anything other than a championship. And it was just really emotional. I just tried to bring some perspective to it, which is hard in the moment. But I told them, hey, listen, we got to own the fact that we were close, but we just didn't quite get it done. But I also understand that I was incredibly proud with our response and our effort. And I said the people that know and care about the program, I'm pretty confident will feel the same way. And, I got a text from Evan right after the game. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but, we work really hard to make guys like that proud. And I believe that was some of his sentiment. That means a lot to us.
We'll move on to Colin Hass-Hill with 11 Warriors. Colin?
Chris, I know you said that, emotionally you feel like you guys will be able to bounce back, but, just how tough was it these past 4 days emotionally to go through all of the ways that these games sort of took you guys? And obviously you finished just a little bit short, and now you have 4 days to respond and get back on the horse for the tournament.
Yeah, Colin, I think, we played some of our best basketball. So I think that's probably what we'll reflect back on and probably hang on to as much as anything, that we played some of our best basketball of the year. We certainly had some errors and some things that we've got to do better, but I don't think anybody would look back and say we didn't play some of our best basketball. So I think you try to hang on to that. you know, I get, you know, they need a little bit of time. It's whatever time it is, you know, they need a little bit of time to deal with this. And, you know, I'm confident we'll have a resilient approach, but I guess you don't know for sure until I get a chance to spend some time around them. But I think they know what's in front of them in terms of, and what's in front of them is, you know, the immediate get rest and get ready to go for Oral Roberts.
Coach, we've got one last question from Steve about seating. Go ahead, Steve Hellwagon from 24/7 Sports.
Yeah, Coach. Obviously, everybody's got their projections. Just was thought you were on the 2 line, and do you appreciate that in Iowa in the same boat, that they did not put you and Iowa in the same brackets as Michigan and Illinois? Familiarity, unfamiliarity, I don't know which way that cuts, but just seems like a fairness issue that you're not going to have to play teams that you've already played 2 and 3 times until you get potentially to the Final Four if it works out. Just your thought about, you know, as one of those 2 seeds, how they placed you.
Yeah, Steve, I don't know that I have, you know, to be honest with you, any real worthwhile thoughts on that right now. I think that, you know, I haven't honestly had a chance to take a whole look at it, other than Oral Roberts and maybe who we would potentially play if we beat Oral Roberts. So that's news to me. And I'm not even sure that I'm familiar enough with all of how that works this year. Maybe I am in a different year when you're talking about regions and geography. So I don't know that I could give you really a good answer other than, you know, I'm glad the Big Ten is well represented, and hopefully we can perform well.
And Coach, we have one last question. This goes to Sean Dunnigan from WBNS 10 TV. Sean?
Chris, as disappointing as this loss is do you see it as possibly a good thing that the tournament's just right around the corner for everybody just to get back up real quick after this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think I'm glad we're not playing on Thursday. You know, I'm glad we're not playing in a normal situation on Thursday, given the fact that we had 2 overtime games and 4 games that were challenging. So I think that might be too quick for us. But listen, our guys were well aware of what was next. I just think they were so locked into the moment, which is the way they need to be. And that's the way they need to be here moving forward. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see how our guys, like I said, I think they're a resilient group. We'll give them some time. They'll respond.
Thank you.
Okay. Coach, thank you very much for your time tonight. All righty, folks.